What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J and we are locked in. I got a question for you. What's on your TV? This is episode 6 of On My Block, and we seen that Spooky just got killed at the end of the episode. And I asked y'all a question, how do you think Caesar's gonna take this? That is the question that I want to know, because you know he's in the game. Him and the gang, they already, you know what I'm saying, having a little risk with each other. So it could get worse from here. Let me know what y'all think. But before we get into this episode, shout out to Notification Gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button, it's the easiest thing you can do. Now we're moving forward. We got these mystery letters. Spooky's dead. We got to see what we're going to do, because we need to figure this out. Is somebody watching us because of the body? We don't even know yet. But this is episode 6 of On My Block. We start the episode off. We know Caesar's house got shot up. We know him and Vero, they ain't really been seeing eye to eye after they got robbed. So the crew, they come over and they're asking about Caesar. Caesar isn't here, he's laying low, but the house is all boarded up because it's been shot up. So it's like, man, there really ain't no reason to be here. But Vera, she's not very cooperative, just because her and Mom say they have their little beef over, you know, hanging with Caesar. And the crew, they're just like, hey, we want to make sure that our friend is good. Now, we know they haven't all talked as much as they should have in the last 2 years, but they want to just see how Caesar is doing. Now, Caesar, he's low-key on the run. I won't say he's on the run where he's like trying to dip about the city, but he goes to the rehabilitation clinic at the farm. Now, this is where his dad works. Now, you know his dad hasn't really been around. He stepped away from everything, and he started working here. Now, Caesar comes in with his gun. He's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You can stay here for a little bit. You'll be safe. But you got to give me that gun. You know, I can't have you walking around here because we'll get in trouble. This is rehabilitation. This is getting people off the streets to try to change their lives around. Caesar's also trying to get some get back, because there ain't no way you're going to let him spray up the house, kill your brother, and you don't do anything. So he's trying to tell him, hey, look, Pops, we're going to do things tonight. That's it. So he's like, all right, tonight. But you can tell he's kind of not trying to let Caesar actually go out there and do this nonsense. So he's just agreeing with him at this point. So he won't go do anything right now. Because if you can say tonight instead of now, that'll give you a couple hours to like calm him down. Try to, you know, deter him from doing things. Now, we know Jamal never got a letter, but he gets his letter today. So for him, he's ecstatic about it. He's like, yes, I finally got one. I'm involved, you know. It's not just everybody else getting a letter. It's finally me. Now, you and I, we're looking at it like, I wouldn't have wanted no letter, because if somebody was following me, I don't want to know nothing about that, and I don't want to have to look over my back. So it's like, if they didn't send me a letter, I'm good. Now, my friends, on the other hand, ain't nothing I can do. They didn't send me no letter. Now, all 3 of them have a letter. They have to go back to the house, and now they have to explain everything to all of the parents. So they're going all the way back to the beginning with little Ricky, the roller world, the scavenger hunt. But according to Jamal, scavenger hunt is for the JV team. They don't do scavenger hunts. They do the big, you know what I'm saying? We do the big things, the big missions. And they're explaining everything. Jamal and Ruby, they have a little disagreement about a few things in the story. Agree to disagree. But they're trying to tell the parents, this is what happened. And the parents are like, what? Now the adults, they're going at it with each other like, Dwayne, why didn't you listen to your kids? They didn't went around the whole city, dug up dead bodies, they did this. And they're like, wait a minute. I didn't hear Jamal tell me that. Jamal's like, I did. Then Ruby goes in on his parents like, yeah, I told you guys something too. Y'all don't listen to me. So all of the kids get sent to the room. Now, you didn't hear me mention Monse, because her dad listens to her, and she's like, okay, I guess I'll go to the room with everybody else, because they sent Jamal and Ruby in there. Caesar's sitting in the rehabilitation clinic. Food looks terrible. He's sitting by himself because he doesn't know anybody in there, and you really can't trust it because a lot of these members are ex-gang members that are in here. So he has a flashback of him and his brother when Oscar was about to leave him, talking about, hey man, I'm gonna have to turn myself in and do these different things. Caesar, they got the long hair, looks nothing like him, but they got him in here. He's a kid and he's kind of crying because if his brother leaves, that's all he knows. And he's like, dang, if you leave me, what am I going to do? But his brother, Oscar, is telling him to be strong. You know what I'm saying? I got to do this. It's for the better for both of us. Now, I believe that she's out here. She's playing quarterback. None of the parents know what's going on. One thing we know about her, she knows everything because her and Jamal work closely together, especially on the roller world. So she's trying to tell them, hey, look, we can't go to the police. If you guys go to the police and you tell them this story, no one's going to believe anything. So the parents, they're all confused on what to do. But Abuelito, she says, look, I'll go tell the police exactly what they need to know. Pretty much, she's going to leave out any of the incriminating stuff of her and the kids. But she's going to handle this situation. Ruby, he gets a little distracted. First, they're talking about, okay, whoever sent these ransom letters out to us, they're after us. We could all be in danger. And Jamal's trying to say, no, we'll be fine with that. I haven't seen anybody following us or doing anything like that. Ruby starts talking about Jasmine. What if she's not safe? What do I need to do? Now, Jamal's still trying to cover up the fact that Jasmine got accepted into college. They're best friends. So he's telling Ruby, hey, slow down. You look a little thirsty. Thirsty, for those that don't understand what the youth are saying, is, you know, if you're all on a girl or if a girl's all on a guy trying to get at him, you seem thirsty, meaning you want to drink some water. He's like, hey, Ruby, just calm down for about an hour. We meet up and then we can talk about this again. But what he's trying to do is give himself some time to go talk to Jasmine and let her know that Ruby is, hey, he's on the trail. Now, Caesar's talking to his dad, and he's trying to tell him, hey, look, I don't have anything else I can do. I'm going to have to go slide on these dudes, man. I'm going to have to go get my get back. Get even with the ones that shot me. Get even with the ones that shot my brother Oscar. Now, his dad is saying, you can't do this because I'm not willing to lose both of my kids. Even though his relationship with Caesar and Oscar isn't as close as he wanted it, he still doesn't want to lose his kids. He just lost one. And Caesar, he's not thinking straight, so he doesn't want to lose him also. I told you. Jamal needed that hour or hour and a half from Ruby to just think about it so he could go warn Jasmine of what's going on. Now, when he gets over there, he's like, please help me out because I'm hiding 2 secrets. Well, make it 3 because you're going to college. You didn't tell Ruby. And now I got to hide this other secret from you. So, you know, Jamal, he overthinks everything. He overanalyzes. He's just like, Jasmine, please just help me out with this. Don't say you went to school yet because you haven't told Ruby that. So if you tell Ruby, that's going to break his heart. And then if he finds out that I know that you got into school, it's just going to be even bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, while these two are arguing over who's going to tell the secret or not, Ruby, he doesn't even take that hour. He just leaves and goes straight to Jasmine's house because he wants answers. I want to go straight to the horse's mouth. So now Jamal's going to have to hide because he's in the room. Now, I told you there's ex-gang members in here. Now, a man from a different set was trying to talk to Caesar. And Caesar, he gets upset because he doesn't know who he can trust. So he goes in there and talks to his dad. And his dad is saying, look, he's here just like you here. We all had a past life. We were all in the streets. But we're trying to change that around and do better. Now, Caesar's like, man, he might know who shot my brother. And he's like, he doesn't have anything to do with that. If he's here, he's more than likely clean. He ain't got nothing to do with the streets. So I told you earlier, he's trying to calm Caesar down because he's not thinking straight. But Caesar, all he knows is the street at this point. And everybody that's here is just trying to change their life for the better. Caesar, he's just like, forget it. He takes his gun. He gets back out. He's about to go outside. We about to go find who did this. But fortunately for him, the car ain't starting up, so he can't go anywhere. Now, you remember the sweatshirt that Jamal was wearing in the picture? Ruby's in the house now. Ruby's upset. He's like, wait a minute. The guy is here because he sees the sweater. So now for him, he's about to start searching around the room to try to find out who this guy is. Now, Ruby's small. This would be the worst thing for him to do because if the guy did pop up and they got to fighting or something, there's no way Ruby has a chance. I'm just going to be honest with you if they were to try to fight. They actually have a conversation. They sit down and he's asking about the new guy. He's like, so it's not serious? She's like, I didn't say all of that. But for Ruby, he says since Oscar is gone, he's having a different perspective of life. So he's more understanding. He already told Jasmine that, I believe you, you don't hold the truth from me. If there's ever anything you got to tell me, you tell me direct. And that's what he likes about her. So if she does have somebody else, he's kind of accepting it at this point because he still wants her to be happy, even if they aren't together. We already knew both of these two. They really liked each other. So, you know, one thing leads to another. A kiss leads to a kiss. A kiss leads to a touch. And they start getting it on. So Jamal wasn't in the closet. Jamal got up under the bed and he gets to hear everything that's going on now. And you can imagine how Jamal was. He was, ew. Jamal goes to Monse's house to basically let her know everything that's going on. Now, I told y'all he was like, ew, because he was up under the bed and got to hear everything. So he's in here, hand sanitizer, rubbing his hands down. Now, him and Monse, they squashed their beef here. He's saying, you know, he thought that butt dial was for him, but he understands that's not how Monse is. We also know he's recently became more attracted to Monse. So that's one tough thing right there. When it's a girl that you like, but she's in the crew and you can't do anything. Never happened to me, but I can only imagine. So he's like, dang, all right, cool. Monse ain't, you know what I'm saying? She ain't like that. He's still attracted to her. She is an attractive girl, but they hug and they put their differences behind them. Even though it was no differences for Monse, she was just waiting on Jamal to come to and realize that he was wrong. Caesar's car didn't start. Now this man comes over and he starts to help him. And he's really giving Caesar information on what to do. So he's saying, all right, now if you go and kill the guys that killed your brother, you could have the wrong person. But if you do kill them, then you're putting yourself in jail, which is really losing your life because you're going to get a life sentence for that. So he's just trying to show him what would happen if you do certain things, what the outcome would be. You can't just do something and think that that's it, because you could kill them, they could come back for you, and it could just be an ongoing thing forever. Turns out this man here, his name is Rick, and he's like, Rick? So he convinces Caesar to give him his real name because he runs his place. And he says his name is Ricky. And Caesar's looking at him like, what? Ricky? Now y'all know, little Ricky, big Ricky, little Ricky, big Ricky. Uh-oh, we might be on to something. There you go, episode 6 of On My Block. At least we got our boy Ruby and Jasmine back together. But I got a question for you. Do you guys think that this Rick is little Ricky's brother? Let me know what you guys think below. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I got a question for you. What's on your TV?
Jimmy on a beat, boy.